Ta 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 na ta na 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 na.
Outside.
Greetings everyone. I know it's been a while. I couldn't find some Unite gameplay, so here's some Pokemon VR though. So today we're here for the Tsareena patch rundown before Dragonite gets released, and I'm fucked at doing another template and stuff. So here we go. So as always, we'll start with the attacker. So I made a new category called SS instead of S+. That's the Pokemon being the most overly overpowered. And that spot goes to Venazor. Venazor is a monster live. Honestly, I haven't seen a Pokemon rise this high ever since Garchomp Beta, man. Garchomp in the beta was a real fucking monster. He was harsh, but he was manageable. But with Venazor right now, he just has way too much damage, survivability, and he's honestly overall way too overpowered. So, he's the first ever SS character. In the S tier, Greninja stays, like always, and Sylveon gets added. I missed the release, and I'm sorry. Sylveon is a monster, honestly. If you manage to play her properly, that shit can 1v9 the game, man. No joke. In the A tier, we have Cinderace. A newcomer in Pikachu. Pikachu has been rising, mainly due to the new item being added, because Pikachu rarely gets anything. But with all the new item and a bit of shift in meta, I think Pikachu has a chance now. And the Decidueye is an A tier Pokemon. I missed the release too, so you're gonna have to excuse me. In the B tier, we have Gardevoir, Alolan Ninetale, and Cramorant. They just can't bolster and do what the A tier is capable of. Like, yeah, sure, you might be able to 1v9 with Cramorant, but why do that when you could do it with Decidueye, who basically now does the same thing but better, with a really high range ultimate? I just think Cramorant pretty much lost his place right now, so unless he gets buff or some other changes in the item, I think Cramorant is going to be in the B tier for now, and we have no one in the C tier. For the all-rounder, we don't have an S tier as of right now, but we have two SS tier in Lucario and Tsareena. Lucario with changes to item, mainly weakness policy. As I've seen, he's risen to fame. This dude's way too OP. Honestly, I think the only way they could actually nerf him meaningfully is if they introduce Riolu to the game. I think unless they introduce Riolu, since his kit revolves around him being really big, there's no way that Pokemon rises back to A or B. And Tsareena is just way too overpowered. A lot of mobility, a shield, some form of soft CC, but her damage is really, really high, honestly. Don't sleep on Tsareena. In the A tier, we have Charizard and Garchomp, as always. And in the B tier, we have Machamp. Machamp is pretty much in the dumpster right now, and I think he's going to stay there until they actually properly buff him, or some other meta changes. Maybe Charizard or Garchomp becoming really bad and him taking their place, but I highly doubt this would happen. For the defender, we have a lot of changes. So, fuck, I forgot the Harrow. But Crustle and Blastoise are up in the S tier. With Greedent being added in the S tier, we also have an SS tier in Snorlax. Snorlax, with the changes, which gave him one less level to grind for his upgrade and stuff, just massively broke him. That and some new items as well, but he got massively OP just because of that tiny changes. And you could argue like, yeah, Gardevoir got the same, but the thing is, Gardevoir doesn't work the same way Snorlax does. And him having access to all these tools earlier means it's just a monster amongst the tank. And Blastoise, Crustle, and Greedent are just massive monster right now. Crustle can ignore the entire enemy team, still objective and score. And I think that's a really powerful point for a Pokemon like Crustle, who's based around negating like CC and stuff. Mamoswine is in the A tier. I don't think Mamoswine will move from the A tier anytime soon. He's a good Pokemon. I mean, you can climb playing Mamoswine. He's really good. He has a lot of CC. He's really a massive lockdown monster. And if you can actually lock down the right target, he's actually a really freaking powerful one at that. And as always, surprisingly, Slowbro is up in the A tier. Slowbro, with a massive changes in stuff, has actually risen. Some new builds, people came up with new builds and new strategies to make him work. I honestly think there's a lot of potential for Slowbro to eventually rise, maybe to S tier. Slowbro has a decent kit. People just need to be able to play around it. For the Speedster, a lot has changed. Gengar is up in the S tier. There's no SS tier because I think beside Gengar, they're all pretty balanced, honestly. The nerf to Zeraora with his shield, his damage, is kind of like sticking power. Everything they changed really hurt him, and he dropped to the A tier for the first time ever since its release. Zeraora was in the S tier for the entire time, man. Talonflame is in the A tier because Talonflame has a decent kit, and even with the last nerf, I don't think it moves in too much. And Haxorus dropped to B tier. There is nothing for Haxorus right now. He does less damage than the other. He has a bit less tool than the other. And I think his disruptive power is not as strong as someone like Gengar or Zeraora right now. Okay. I know I've been trashing on Mr. Mime ever since its release. And I know he wasn't always bad. I just never thought that he would actually rise so high. I used to rank him as a C low B, but changes in item, changes in strategy, new Pokemon being introduced, and player actually understanding the role of Mr. Mime, a damaging disruptor instead of just a plainly full supportive character, rises into SS tier. How could I say this? I don't advise anyone to just pick him off and go and rank. You need to practice with him. You need to know which wall he can completely block off. How can he magic barrier disrupt an entire team fight? Which spell you must go to. When to actually go in with your ultimate. There's a lot of things surrounding Mr. Mime that made me hesitate for a long time. And I actually decided to, for once, put him there. I think it's a really good rating for him. And in the S tier we have Eldegoss. Eldegoss has risen compared to the other supportive character. I think as a pure healer, Eldegoss is really good. And there's also the bruiser damage build. I mean the hybrid damage build that helps her boast a bit of damage while also being able to protect and support her team really well. Blissey stays in the A tier. Blissey's really good. I've climbed last season with Blissey. Like, you can do it. She is more than good enough for it. But I don't advise just always picking her. Eldegoss is a way better pick right now. And Wigglytuff goes in the A tier as well. Wigglytuff is kind of like Mr. Mime. A disruptive power Pokemon that has some form of supportive capacity. Do I think do I think Wigglytuff deserves higher? Absolutely not. But if, like, Mr. Mime's not your cup of tea and you want that kind of Pokemon that can still bring a bit of supporting while also being able to disrupt and deal damage, I mean, Wigglytuff is your Pokemon, man. Just fucking go for it. So, I hope you enjoyed. Tell me if you liked it. I may start doing tier list regarding like role instead of, I mean position instead of role, like top lane, center lane, and bot lane. I think this could be really interesting because right now I don't think a lot of people do these tier lists like I do, role by role, but we'll see. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to look at my social media as well. And I'll see y'all in the next one. See ya.